Alright, today we're going to be fixing this small dent, showing you how to repair that, going through the process. One of the first things you always want to do with any repair is clean it real good. We just spray this down with the pressure washer, make sure it's clean. And you also want to wipe it down with some wax and grease remover. Just to make certain all the waxes and silicones and things like that are off the surface, because that'll cause you a lot of problems through the paint process. You want to put it on with the wet one, and then take it dry it with the dry one, or else you just smear the silicone and waxes around. Okay, we've got this fender wiped down with wax and grease remover. This is going to be the fender that we're going to be repairing. You see that we got some damage here, but before you ever just start trying to pop on something and repair it, you want to kind of see what's going on and kind of see where the damage flow is. When thinking about damage, you want to kind of think of it, like water. For example, if something hits water, it's going to push down in one direction, and of course the wave is going to come out going the other direction. So there's always going to be a low and a high. Normally, maybe with the exception of just a small dent or held in or something like that, there's usually always going to be a low and a high area, and that's very important because you never just want to pull out or up on the lows or just down on the highs at one time. You want to kind of do it at the same time. You want to kind of roll the metal. So as you're pulling the metal up and out, you also want to be pulling down the highs. Now in this dent, for example, obviously the low and direct damage is right here. But you can kind of see there's a crown right here, and this is your indirect damage. This is your high right here. So this is going to be an important part of repairing the fender. So also, when you're thinking about repairing, there's different types of ways to repair the damage. Do we use hammer and dolly? Do we use, we bought a stud nail gun, do we use that? Or, the electrode, what do we use? And basically, you just want to use whatever works. If you got a high dollar piece of equipment, but a hammer and dolly works easier, go ahead and use that. Just whatever makes the job the easiest. A lot of times on something like this, you can get to the back side of it with your hand. I can fill it up in here, and I can get to the back side of this really easy. So this would be a candidate to use hammer and dolly because you can get to both sides of it, so that'd probably be an easy way. But another thing you may consider on these thin metals, they're really thin. A lot of times you can push on these some just with your hand. So I'm going to put my hand in, and you always want to work a dent kind of from the outside towards the center. You never want to start right in the center of the direct damage. You kind of reverse what happens. So, the first in, last out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start pushing around in here and kind of move it in the center. But at the same time, I'm going to kind of push down this crown and see if some of this will. Now a lot of that popped out, but the metal's a little bit stretched right here. You can see there's still a little bit of a low. So that's not going to be, you're still going to have to do some repairing, but that got the majority of the dent out.